Hello, guys. Welcome back to InDaHouseMedia House Call inside of 285. And of course, I am your host, Michelle Diamond. And today we have the amazing Mr. Terry Quintero Moore with us in the building. I'm so honored to have you. Welcome, welcome. How is everything
Well,
going?
thank you. First of all, thank you for having me, and everything's going good. I mean, due to the current situations at hand, but I'm not going to complain or cry. It is what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we definitely appreciate you joining us. And of course, guys, you guys already know that this program was brought to you by unstoppableproducts.com. So make sure you check out www.unstoppableproducts.com for that wonderful skin mask so you too can feel unstoppable. So now back with you, Mr. Moore. I was so amazed by your resume and everything that I read about. I mean, I know that you grew up in church, basically doing plays, and that's pretty much what started you out in the industry. And was that pretty much how you gained your passion for the arts itself?
Nah, not really. Huh. I guess it was a seed that was planted, but I started getting the passion down the line, like when I was about in my mid to early 20s. And
Okay.
that just started, but I started out doing like photo shoots and runway shows, and someone decided to take a chance on me. It was like, yo, you look like you can do more than just stand there. So take this part and go with it and see how it goes. And, one thing led to another.
Okay, awesome. So I know that you've done quite a bit in the industry. You're also a model. You've done the New York fashion shows, and you've also, I believe it is a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania light heavyweight celebrity champion.
Yeah, I did that for a couple of months, that for what it ran for. And that was entertaining and fun.
Okay, awesome. So how did that come about? How did you get involved in that?
I just, a couple of guys that I knew my background, and they seen some movies that I did that I displayed that, and just like, listen, we trying to start this, and would you mind coming on board and basically being the face? I was like, why not? Just see where it goes.
Okay, awesome. So
hmm
tell the people where you from originally.
Originally, I'm from Maryland, a little town called Pocomo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not too far from Ocean City, Maryland. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Ocean
Yes,
City,
I
Maryland,
am
but
interested. Yes,
all right. But yeah,
absolutely. Okay, awesome. And now where are you?
I'm in Pennsylvania, Willow Grove. Some call it suburban Philly, but Willow Grove. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I've done a little bit of the homework, and I know you two were involved, and you played the role Swag in the up and coming movie that's making its debut in 2021 January, actually Snow Black. So how was your experience working with Robert Parham and the Black Dragon himself, Mr. Robert, Ron Van
Well,
Cleef? Like, oh my gosh.
well. Robert Parham himself was amazing. I mean, because just the accolades that he had, is just amazing. And then for him to bring me on and want me to be a part of it, and then to meet and actually had the chance to not only do a fight scene with a martial arts legend such as Ron Van Cleef was just the icing on the cake. And I'll tell people he hasn't done a movie in 30 plus years prior to that.
Exactly.
So he
Yes.
came off the bench basically for us for that particular moment. So, movie. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then
True
just
honor.
a little things he was kicking to me off the scene, behind the scenes, that he would tell me his experience and whatnot was even deeper and even more appreciated than having a scene with him because I learned so much of where he came from just on a chill tip. You know what I mean?
Right. That's amazing. And I mean, I
Yeah.
I know that there were some other amazing people, such as Gloria Hendry, and what was your
I mean,
experience
I'm
there?
upset about that. I didn't get a chance to meet her, but I wished I had it. I didn't get a chance to meet her though. I mean, she follows me on Facebook or whatnot, and be friends. And of course, she's in the movie with me, but I didn't get a chance to meet her.
Mm,
And I would have loved to, but wasn't in the cards for this particular setting.
that's okay. There'll be many more. I see it coming. Talking to Robert, that he has some exciting things, so I'm quite sure. So with that character swag, did you have to delve in and get into that character, or was there some familiarity there?
And with some familiarity, most of the times, any character that I get is some familiarity with it. I mean, whether I've done it myself or that character or know somebody, some I have some type of connection to it some kind of way. So swag was just a character that okay, I can have fun with, and they kind of let me create him. Like they gave me the name, they gave me what he does, but they kind of, as far as far as his own, his how his mental, his psyche, his everything about him, his own character. They kind of let me play with that myself a little bit.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. So with getting into character, how do you normally prep for that?
Well, uh, best what I can explain is like say if you give me a role and you say, well, this guy is a jerk or whatever. My biggest thing is I'd like to remember the lines first because anybody can. I can say anybody, but most people can be a jerk,
True.
and I'm sure that we all. Again, I pull from what you are, what I used to be, or someone that I know. You know what I mean? I pull from that because, as the saying go, art mimic life.
That is very true.
So I pull from that.
Okay, that's awesome. So you delve in and get right into character. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, the hard. I think I said the hardest character I ever had to play was a play where um I had to play a guy that had two personalities. I had to actually bring both characters to life, and I had to
Mm,
watch a couple of movies to actually get into that character because playing two different people on a stage play live is kind of hard, But I kind of had to watch
yeah.
different movies and different things to see how to tap into that.
Okay. All right. And what play was that, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, forgive me. It's sad because it was like 2 years ago. I had done
That's
so much.
okay.
I had done so much between now and then. Oh
Look,
wow,
it's
it's
okay.
about
Look,
two,
I'll
3 years
research
ago.
some more. I'll research some more and delve in and see what I could dig up.
Yeah, I mean, well, basically, it was the premise of. I can give you the premise of it. It was just basically
Okay.
about me being a. Basically, it was a. I'm pretty sure most ladies can relate, and maybe some guys. Um, when you're dating someone and you don't really know who they are, and when you move in with them, the whole characteristic changes, or it was always there, you just didn't see it.
Yeah,
But
yes.
for me, I had this thing where that I was abusive to my girlfriend and she was cheating on me. But the thing was, I'm two different type guys. Like my mental is this way and that. You know what I mean? Like one minute I'm sweet, and the next minute I'm savage with it. So
Okay. That's funny that you mentioned that, and that's interesting because you always find circumstances as such where you're dating someone and the person that they are when you're dating, and then when you actually take that extra step and move in with the individual, you're like, wait a minute, what
and
happened
that's the
here?
thing and his thing with that was that she had already been done with me. It was just the fact that I couldn't accept it. So
Wow,
then I start and think what I had always had old heads that tell me you never know nobody until you live or work with them.
that is so true. Absolutely,
So
yes, yes. Oh my God, until you break bread with them. Yes, that's my
Yeah,
grandmother used to say that, breaking bread, you'll know a person's true colors. It comes out. Absolutely. I agree. 100%.
exactly.
You're like, whoa, whoa, pump the brakes.
Like,
Who
wait
is
a minute.
this? What?
But I always believe those signs was there. Is just a lot of us just didn't take heed to it
Yeah,
because you
that's
can't hide
true.
crazy but so long.
You know what? You're so right because when you're in that dating scene, it's always like butterfly stages and you're like caught up in the moment
And
and
you
then you're
don't want to believe that. You know what I mean.
like,
Some things might jump out. And you might be like, no
nah.
way. Yeah, yeah. So
Right. You like the little signs are there and you're like, nah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the check engine light on, but I believe, or the gas engine light, a gas light on, but I believe I can go 20 more miles
Miles
with
before I
this.
run out of fuel.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
yeah, absolutely. But that is good. Oh my goodness, amazing. So I read some of your information and what I found that struck out to me, and it's something that is definitely needed. You said being in this industry and as a young black man giving back, what you're stating is you can write your own story and change your own ending. What
yeah,
about that statement made you so passionate about it that you had to, paraphrase it again?
because how can I put it to you like this? We have a lot of things that, especially people of color, that block us from a lot of things. But then, do we use that as the crutch, or do we use it as the encouragement?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So,
The
and
fuel. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or the fuel to
Uh,
continue to
yeah,
drive.
yeah, it's the
Right.
fuel to continue to drive. And granted, it's like, well, if I tell you that I'm gonna start, me and you gonna start this race, right? And I tell you, regardless who you are, and I tell you, my side, I'm just gonna run smooth with no obstacles in my way. You gonna have all these obstacles in your way. You may, but your goal at the end of the race will be greater than mine. So would you say, nah? Would you fall back and say, nah, I don't want that because of, oh, he got a smooth run through. Me, I gotta jump over here, go over there, put this over there. But yet your the bag or the goal, whatever you had, was greater than mine. Would you still continue that race? You gotta,
Interesting.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I make him to the finish line all clean and fresh.
True.
You make him all bleeding, ankles busted, lips chapped, whatever, knee ankles, whatever. But at the end of the day, you got your prized possession.
That
So
is true.
that's the way I look at that. But so basically saying don't really make no excuses. Matter of fact, a prime example. I told someone just recently we lost Chaz Bozeman, right?
Right.
And no one knew that he had colon cancer,
Correct.
and he had it for 4 or 5 years. He still found a way to get up to make
And
8 movies
persevere.
in 4 years.
Yes. Yes.
No crying, no nothing. And everybody that knows that been on set knows that staying on set could be from 8 hours to 16 hours to 18.
Right.
You know what I mean? So and he did it with no
No
crying, no
complaints.
time
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I need to go over here. None of that. Far as I know, and that right there should be the fuel for anything.
Yeah, that is so true. Everybody, there's different, motives in life, what pushes and drives or motivates someone. And, it is absolutely true and necessary, especially right now, in the world we're living in its current state,
Right,
and I find that, the phrase that you reiterated, holds such a strong sense, especially dealing with the pandemic and not knowing what tomorrow may hold, the next second, the next hour, the next minute, whatever the case may be. And I hear so many people get caught up in circumstances or what it is that they're going through or dwelling on the past, and
right.
it's my thing is if you have someone that dwells on the past, we have to encourage them to make sure that they know that it does not define their future. They write their future, so it's a great statement. So I definitely,
Exactly.
you
And
know,
it's not to say that the obstacles are not there. It's just to say that, you know, as they say to me, when even when people use the scripture of David versus Goliath, I mean, Goliath was the biggest obstacle around during that time period for David.
right.
He still managed, right?
Absolutely.
So now, whether you want to, was that rather it was a physical thing or a metaphorical thing, at the end of the day, your problems are always going to be bigger than what you are a lot of times.
Right.
A
That
lot of
is
times, I
so
can say
true.
always.
Yeah, that's why I definitely applaud all of you, because even though we were under pressing circumstances, Mr. Parham, he stuck to it. He wrote, did this great, movie. And then you guys just did your thing regardless of what was going on. And, kudos to all of you, and then to
Well,
have it
thank you,
come
thank you,
in 2021, that's just amazing.
thank
What
you.
do you feel is the best part or experience of you and the cast members in Snow Black?
Far as I mean,
Yeah, as far as just, the experience overall.
oh, I think the experience with us would be first of all just getting to know each other. That was one experience because everybody came from different parts of the states and different walks of life. Secondly, once we all, because now we talk to each other like we've been knowing each other for years. We talk to each other on Facebook, Instagram, like,
Um,
you know, and it's like kind of like we picked up where you left off, kind of one of them old friends. But I think the biggest struggle that we had to go through as a collective, as a group, was getting this movie out here during this pandemic. And I think that's everybody's struggle right now, not just ours, but everybody in general. But because we had so many things lined up before this, it seemed like we built this ball of energy, this steam,
yeah,
and then we hit this wall. Bow. So now he was like, oh my God, did we do all this work for nothing? Did we, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought that. But then knowing that who we are and who we have as a producer, a writer, and a creator, he wasn't going to let that happen. And then the positive feedback that we got from even during this pandemic that we got back was like, yeah, we got to keep pushing this. We got to keep pushing
yes,
this. So
absolutely.
I think that was the biggest hurdle. I'll say that I can't speak for everybody, but I feel like that was the biggest hurdle because by the time it wrapped up, just when all this foolishness happened.
Right. That's so true. So, what do you believe gave you guys the extra oomph or the drive to say we're gonna, keep pressing on full steam ahead?
I believe because a lot of us, it's like if I had to put it into a simple perspective, it's like I did all this for nothing. Like it's like if you went to work and you worked for 40 hours and no paycheck, and you're like, wait a minute, I did all this for nothing. Not saying that the money was the goal. I'm just saying that you got up, you bust your behind. A lot of people stayed on set a lot longer than others. A lot of people came from out of town. You know what I'm saying? And they would like to see their art displayed as well as the producer or the writer. He want we were the characters that brought his project to life. And granted, he could have picked anybody, but he picked us. So the drive was like, listen, we put all this hour, energy, time, money. We didn't quit. Even some days on set might have been harder than for some people than others. It's just the
Right.
fact that we didn't quit. So if we didn't quit now, and granted, we had to follow the rules with the pandemic. I got it. But at the end of the day, we made this movie and we felt like people should see it. And it's a great movie. It has a lot of legends, new and old talent.
Yes, indeed.
So we had to push that. So everybody worked hard. We had to push it. So I had everybody asking me, "Yo, when the movie coming out? It was supposed to come out." I said, "Listen, y'all gotta understand, the pandemic jammed everybody up.
That is so
Now
true.
we got a little bit of breathing room. It's coming out in January."
Yes,
So
2021, and I
yes,
can't wait.
exactly.
Yes.
So everybody's so excited about it. And granted, when it, you know, when they did a little screenplay, a lot of us couldn't make it in Vegas, but I believe everybody didn't want their work to go in vain. And
Right,
you know,
absolutely.
so that's the way
So
I see it.
that well, that's a good thing, and I'm grateful that you guys press forward because with everything that I've heard and read about, I'm excited to see it, and then the new projects that Mr. Parham is working on, I'm just like yes, especially when he's told me about the blender with Lethal Weapon and everything else, and I'm like really, now
Yeah,
you know.
Rob is always working. He always come up with an idea. And here's the thing about Rob, though. I consider him like a big brother because when when I was there, he was showing me things behind the scenes on the computer, how to edit, how to do certain things. So I wasn't
Oh,
there just to do a movie. I was there, I believe everything happened for its reason. So he showed me a few things about this is how you edit this is how you move that. This is how. Granted, I might forgot most of it, but at the end of the day, he took the time during that busy time of the year to set me to the side beside him and say, "Hey, yo, bro, you do this."
wow,
He didn't say I'm doing it. Watch me do it. He said, "No, you do it. This is how you do it." Well, I'm doing it with him.
wow,
And just in
that's
case you
awesome.
ever want to edit or do a movie yourself. So I learned a lot of things, with Big Brother.
Oh, that is great. And yes, Mr. Parham, let me stop. He's going to be like, Mr. Parham, but Robert is an amazing gentleman. And, speaking to him, speaking to you, I see, great and amazing cast. Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, pouring into each other, and,
Yeah.
sharing that knowledge. And we talked about that, so can we get a little bit of insight on, swag, who is swag in Snow Black?
Swag. I am the second in command of the Bloodborne, our gang Bloodborns. Basically, you could say I'm like the muscle to a degree. Um, I have a fight scene with Ron Van Cleef.
Yes.
I can't tell you how it ended, but it was fun. And I'm swag because I'm the guy that makes sure it gets done, but with swag.
Ah,
So
I love it. Love it.
whatever needed to be done, I did it with swagger.
And I could definitely see that part, definitely. It's like, yes, I came with the whole
I
swag
came
for
in.
you.
Yeah. You,
Debonair.
if you told me to pick apples off the tree, it was with swag.
Awesome.
We just not gonna go out there and pick apples. We gonna do it with
With
swag.
swag. I
Yeah.
love it. I
It makes
love
the apples
it.
taste better. You know
Oh, see, absolutely, absolutely. You have to put that whole extra finger in it.
exactly. Don't grab it with four, grab it with the whole five. You know what I mean?
I am loving it. Amazing. This is amazing. I cannot wait, guys. So remember, stay tuned. January 2021 for Snow Black. Okay. And Mr. Swag himself. Okay. Terry
Yeah.
Quintero Moore. Yes, officially in the building. So with that, I mean, I know you've done so much and you've been featured in, Creed, Dark Shield. Let me see what else I could think of. Rewind, which I believe that was your first leading role, correct?
On what? I'm sorry.
Rewind?
I didn't hear you. You said what?
On Rewind?
Oh yeah, Rewind was my. I always had extras or supporting roles, but Rewind was my first. Yeah, my first lead role in a film. Actually, in a film.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
and I always get those parts where I play the womanizer, the cheating husband, boyfriend, or the crazy boyfriend, or the mob boss. I always get those parts. Whatever, but I love it. So
Right. I mean, I do the mob scenes, yes.
I love it.
It's the whole, persona that comes with it. That's
And,
all.
that's funny because every time I get asked to do a bit, it's the character is not too far off of my how I really do things in life.
You
So
see?
So,
That's amazing.
not
That's
saying
how
that
it works.
I stalk women and beat them, but you know, that's not my thing. But I guess I can bring it to life. So better than anybody else that they known to do it. So I remember I
Right.
had to play that. Matter of fact, the play I just told you about, I did it so well that people was like, you know how you when you're done and you meet the fans and whoever, and they was like, I don't like you. One guy said, it was a pastor that was out there. His daughter was in it. Matter of fact, his daughter was the one I was beating on.
Oh
And he
no.
said, listen, bro, I know this a play. He said, but you did it so well. You made me, and I'm a pastor. You made me want to go out there and get my gun. So, and I was told that once you get to that level of people really, and I never understood that because I used to watch Lifetime with my grandma and the stories, and they're like, I hate him. I'm like, grandma, it's just a movie. But
Right.
when you have done it so well, and the person really think you like that in your daily living, that
Great.
means you have come to a point where you know what I mean? Like people really think you that way. And I've been in several plays where I get off stage and read people. They're like, "Nah, I don't want to talk to you." Regardless what the play was, if I was a bad guy, I did it so well. They're like, you never, you sure you done this before?" And I'm like,
Right.
it's a play, but it's crazy how people not only that you get into your character, but the audience and the fans get into your character because they really a lot of times they think like, ain't nowhere in the world he pulled it off if that's not him.
Correct, correct. Right. They think that the two go together, but it just means that you do your craft very well. That's all
Yeah,
it sums up to. And see,
yeah.
now the world is going to see for themselves, and hey, it's just more to come. So you guys make sure y'all keep your eyes on Mr. Terry Quintero Ward because he's coming for you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming out. This is just a taste of what's to come. You know what I mean? We just give you a little entree stuff here and there, a little something you can nibble on
A
till you,
little
till you
something,
get the full, a
something.
little something you can
A little
nibble on. You know
something.
what I mean?
You had to put the swag on it. A little something,
A little
something.
something, 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 something.
Bring the little swag back. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
you know what I mean?
loving it. So tell me about this clothing line.
Uh, it's crazy how it started. Me and my actually, it's my name, Team Quintero, and we did the research and about what my name meant. Really, I had a guy that does my artwork and as far as my logos.
Mhm.
And what's crazy, as long as I had my last name, I never really knew what it meant. I knew what it meant, but it meant several different things in several different cultures. But it's funny how it lined up because it was me and four other brothers that did this, and he was like, "Dude, do you know in ancient Spanish or ancient Latin, your name means five?"
Mhm.
So, hmm. So we did like this. So we started that. We started playing with logos, and so I used my family crest and as to incorporate in my logo. So we started, and it jumped off for a little bit. Granted, COVID came in and was like, nah, let me pull that from you. So it's something that we starting back up because a lot of people loved it, which I didn't think they would have, but a lot of people do love it, and it's something we get ready to start back up. And then we don't charge nobody a whole lot, because we know people trying to recover. We got people that still don't have jobs, but the clothing line was
Right.
something was like I got one of my guys who's like a brother to me. I mentioned the clothing line, and he know me like a book. He was like, "Bro, you mentioned it. Why don't you bring it to life?" I was like, "Yeah, I do it down the line." He's like, "No, I know you. If you keep saying down the line, you're never gonna do it because you're so caught up with doing other things. Let's
Right.
do it now." So we all threw our money in the pot. Got a couple shirts back, a couple of hoodies, started distributing it, and people loved it. I had a couple of girls that I know that modeled for it, and people liked it. And
Awesome.
like I said, we wasn't hitting nobody in their head for a whole lot of cash. And like I said, it's just something that it took off. It had a little buzz for a moment. Then like I said, COVID kind of like let me snatch that from me too. So
Right.
we getting back into the mix of that right now. We talking to um I'm more to now what we when we did it the first time we kind of just cast our line out of there, out in the out in the water. Right now I'm more into the um fabric. You know what I
Right.
mean? I want to know what the fabric's like. So we're gonna make coats. You're gonna make, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm into now. And I got the guy that's into the logo, and I got the guy that's distributing it. So I got everybody that's, you know, doing their part on that note.
Right.
Mm.
Well, we have some
Even with the
people.
shoes, we get ready to do the shoes too. So
Oh, wait a
yeah,
minute
yeah.
now. I'm ready. So where can the people, you're talking to the people now, where can they
We
find
we
the
we we
clothing
we
line?
we started we started our, again, like I said, we started our little Instagram profile. It was Team Quintero. We were doing that. We talked to a couple people from Italy that was doing real Italian leather shoes, and I would put my logo on it. And we had a little deal with them: if I sold this in this amount of time, blase blase. But again, like I said, everything jammed up, and the shoes wasn't cheap. Granted, we was gonna come out a lot of pocket and pay for it, but we wasn't gonna charge the public a whole lot. But like I said, we're getting back into that. The
Was it
shoes, we're gonna
Italian
do the
leather?
sweatpants, huh?
Was it Italian leather? Because
Yeah, Italian leather. Yeah, Italian
yeah.
leather. Yeah, yeah. And like I said, we gonna do coats. We doing sweatpants. We doing socks. We was even thinking about doing masks. We in the mix of it. I just gotta get up with my
Look,
I got my designer guy, but sometimes he's a hit and miss, and I can't let him go because he does great work. But everybody has their own, at this particular time in life, have their own personal issues. So I figure like we're gonna take a pause on that for a
right.
moment. So,
But
but
I
it's
tell you,
coming
I
back. For
encourage you
those who
to
saw it, it's coming
continue.
back.
I encourage you to continue. I definitely encourage you to continue because look, the mask thing, I don't think that's going away anytime soon. They're
Oh God.
they're
I
rein
hope you do, but
I get it, but I don't see it happening anytime soon because they're reinforcing certain things. People have to wear their masks again into stores and so forth. So hey, why not? Especially you have a brand, you might as well
yeah,
brand everything across the board.
exactly. So I mean, we gonna do it. Boxes, whatever. We come up. We sit and all the time. We come up with ideas, and a
I'm
lot of
here
time.
for it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Then thank you.
Yes.
We gonna do it. And actually, we try. We got a brand for the ladies, which is the same thing, but this is what I was talking about. Fabric, like
Hmm.
when we do our shirts, I know the fabric is cut a certain way, or we
Right.
do our pants, it's gonna be cut a certain way. So me, I'm into the fabric of that note because I'm not being perverted, whatever. But when a woman wear it, it's gotta lay a certain way. You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So that's the way I look at it. So I got the logo guy, I got the distributor guy, and I'm the fabric guy. I want to see how it lay.
Okay, amazing. I mean, I have some viewers that are popping in just to let you know. I have someone, I believe is one of your friends, Mike. He says, "Hey, I can't wait for this movie to come out.
What's up,
Can't
Mike? How you
wait to
doing?
watch it." And we have quite a few people. We have Novi Johnson from Novi Records from Philly. She's one of our ACE team members as well, and she's giving you the thumbs up all the way. So,
What's up, Philly? You
audience.
already know, Philly fan. What's up?
Yes, so Novi and everybody, he says, thank you, Mike, and Novi, what's up?
Everybody that's tuning to, thank you. Like,
Absolutely. Look, I can't wait because, I'm all caught up on this whole swag thing now. Everything we have to do, Novi, we got to do with swag.
you gotta do with swag. I mean, that's life. Female, male, whatever you want to consider yourself, you gotta have swag with it.
That is
I
true.
mean, listen,
That's
listen.
true.
I tell people, if you trip and fall and you catch yourself, bust out a push up.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Just boom. It's swag. It's a swag to that.
But he's like,
Oh,
look, and
what
I'm
you?
going to push up with the swag too.
Yeah, like that's like if you trip and fall, then boom. Like what you like? Listen, I just feel like I feel like busting out some push ups.
Oh, yeah.
So
He's like, yeah, I didn't fall. I was doing my push-ups. What you talking about?
yeah.
I know what you're
So
talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't fall. What you talking about? You gotta
I
do it with
know. I
swag.
totally get
You know
it.
what I
Oh
mean?
my amazing, totally
Yeah.
amazing. So, what else would you say opposed to, or other than what we discussed about the phrase that you used, about, you can write your own story and change your own ending. What encouragement would you give up and coming actors and models?
I would say just stay focused because you can get a lot of people when you. I say this: stay focused, but tell the minimum people about your dream. And I say this because you'll tell a lot of people about your dreams, and let's say you tell 100 people. I guarantee you, out of 100, maybe 30 is going to be go for it. I support you. Believe it or not, and I could be wrong with the math, but I'm just going off experience. Now you have the rest that might say, "Listen, come on, dog. That that's a little bit far fetched for you." So now they putting doubt in you. Then you have the remainder of it. They like, "Man, come on, dog. Look where we at. Ain't nobody going." You know what I mean? So I say on that note, tell because people that know you are your worst critics. Believe it or not, family, friends, whatever, they're the
Yes.
worst critics.
Yes.
But the main thing is to stay focused because long as you stay focused on what you want, you would definitely get there. It may take months, years, or weeks. Some people can fall into it just like that.
Right.
And but don't get disencouraged because I know a lot of people like me. A lot of times the way I was doing projects, I was like, man, I should have been famous by now, or I should have had millions. A lot of times it don't work like that because your
Right.
story is not somebody else's story. I have heard stories of some people got discovered at the gas station or at Wawa's and
It's
became
true.
famous. Yeah, but again, you got to put in that groundwork. So that's what that is.
Right, that is so true. Well, that is an amazing, encouraging information that you're giving out. As
Yeah,
apart from the
and don't be afraid to fail because if you fail, you're doing something right. Don't
true,
never be afraid to fail. I mean, trust me. If you go to an audition and they tell you no, don't mean you're not the best actor. It means you didn't fit that part for whatever reason. It could be physically. Uh, I've seen cats where they killed the whole scene, but they didn't fit the part physically, or they fit the part physically, just can't read, just can't bring that character to life.
connect. Right.
And you're gonna get no, like I said, I've heard stories and talked to actors. Said, man, I've been turned away 600 times. You figure by the 600th time, man. Listen, it's a rap, ain't you know what I mean? But you just got, if that's your passion, you just got to keep going for that passion. You know what I mean? And it's like practice. If you're an actor, practice your lines, practice whatever you got going on. If
Mm,
you're a rapper, practice. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Everybody, I think, has a talent. It's just whatever you just decide to tap into, and whatever it is you want to be great at. If you're a librarian, then be the best librarian there is.
absolutely. Absolutely. So you have it, guys. Mr. Moore told you, make sure that you stay consistent. Pretty much that's what
Yeah,
it is. Stay consistent with your craft. Don't be afraid to fail because that means you're doing something right. Don't stay stagnant. If you
yeah,
fall, keep on pressing forward. And remember
exactly.
that you can always change your ending. And that is something that I preach all the time. And I think it's so
Oh, and
beneficial.
another thing, not to cut you off,
Oh, no,
don't
go ahead.
measure your success with the next person's success. Because you see it all the time. They be like, you listen, you don't have to be famous to make a seven-figure income. The success comes in multiple multitudes of like, listen,
Absolutely.
you may change somebody's life. That was a success. So some people, hey, I just made $1 million. That's a success.
So true. So
So
true.
whatever your goal is just make sure you have that drive to accomplish it, the rest of it, because you can have a dream, and a dream is nothing without you putting in that work. As the saying go, and I hate when people say, well, it's if you know better, you'll do better. No, you can know all you want. If you apply better, you'll do better.
That is
Because
true.
you can sit on the knowledge all day. What are we gonna do with it? I taught you how to use that hammer. What you gonna do with it?
Or you're gonna apply it,
Exactly.
utilize it, right? So true. Very true. That hammer could sit there and be stagnant,
All day.
all day. So
No,
yes,
not a nail banged the first in the wall, but you know
right.
how to use it.
Right. So you just have to be consistent again,
Yeah.
apply it, and make sure that you're, putting full effort behind everything that you do. And, just want to say hello to, our Philly ATL member out there again, Paul Warren, saying hello. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you on the big screen. So, yes, everybody's
Well,
very
thank you.
supportive. And, we just want to thank all of the audience for tuning in, giving your feedback, and cheering Mr. Moore on. He is amazing. Can't wait to do the whole swag thing with Snow Black January 2021. Here we come. We're here for it. And of course, again, this interview with the amazing Terry Quintero Moore was
Well,
brought
thank
to
you.
you
Thank
by
you.
unstoppableproducts.com. So www.unstoppableproducts.com. You too can feel unstoppable. You heard it right here from Mr. Moore, okay?
Yeah.
Swag with everything. You will be unstoppable. I'm telling you. So until
Yeah.
next time, guys, this is your host, Michelle Diamond. We love you.
Peace.